we're now part of the Lamborghini Club of Ohio, and none of us own a Lamborghini. So there's always been a Lamborghini Club of Ohio, and it's usually out in Cincinnati or towards Columbus. And last year, somebody decided to bring that up into Northeast Ohio. Now, me knowing everybody that I know and following everybody that I do follow, I ended up seeing that there was an event coming up for the brand new Lamborghini Club of basically Northeast Ohio, and that it was going to be kind of open, but not really open to the public. It was like if you had a Lamborghini, you could go. So I saw that and I hit up somebody that I knew that had a Gallardo, and I'm like, hey, did you see this? Are you going to this? And he's like, yeah, I'll be there. And then he sent me the location of where the event would be. So with the information of where the event is, when it is, and who is hosting it, I decided to DM the person who is hosting the event and say basically, hey, I do photos and videos and stuff. Is it cool if I come out and shoot some stuff? Now at the time the person had no idea who I was, so fair enough. They said they already had a photographer, and they said that the photographer they promised would be the only person there to do that stuff, and that maybe next time I could come out. So I think to myself, man, that's a real shame. I really have nothing else going on that day. I would have liked to go out there and shoot some stuff. So I say, fine, that's cool. I'll come out next time. Or at least that's what I tell the guy. Now, like I said, I was already sent the location, the time, and all of that information by my previous connect who has a Gallardo. So I decided it would be very convenient if I was at the starting location of their event when they showed up there, just because I was out there getting coffee or something, just happenstance. So I text Nick, I say, hey, we're going to this, we're just going to go get coffee, and we will end up accidentally running into this Lamborghini Club event, and we'll just kind of follow them because we just so happen to be going to the same location that they're going to after we get our coffee. He's like, all right, cool. Are we taking the Audi? What are we taking? And we end up not taking the Audi because it had my stickers and my Instagram and everything on the side. So we didn't want them to really know it was us. We just wanted them to know, oh, that's weird. They just so happen to be going to the same place. So me and Nick head out there the day of the event, and we are there about right as it's going to start. And there's this mag truck there that is delivering a brand new Lamborghini Urus SE for people to test drive and stuff during the event. So we're sitting there watching this massive truck just deliver this brand new Urus that people really haven't gotten to drive yet or anything. And we're sitting there, Lamborghinis are pulling in just at this random coffee shop, and I think there were probably like 10 or so Lambos that ended up going to that. It was a pretty big event, but as all the Lamborghinis start pulling in, Nick and I get out and we start walking around. I'm not filming anything with all my high-end equipment or everything yet because I don't want to kind of expose myself that, oh yeah, this guy wasn't really supposed to be here, but he's here anyway. So I'm walking around, I end up talking to the one Gallardo owner that I do know at the time, and we talk a little bit. He's like, yeah, I'm glad you could come out. It was really surprising that you were out here just so conveniently, because he knew that we were going anyway and it didn't really matter. So we end up walking around, and then they have their little meeting before they take off, their little pre-cruise meeting. And we end up just kind of walking in and becoming a part of that meeting, just hearing what the whole route was going to be, them just talking about like, oh, thank you for coming out, all that normal stuff that you do for an event like this before cruising to the final location. So we're there with everyone, and we are at the time in Nick's Nissan Rogue. So it's all the Lamborghini owners, then two dumb kids in a Nissan Rogue who were just there to kind of film stuff, and we weren't really invited. So they're about to all take off and start cruising, so we kind of leave right before them. We pull over to the shoulder, and I get my camera all set up, and we sit there, and we're like, okay, we're gonna follow some of them, we're gonna watch them all go by, and then we're just gonna tail them at the rear end. So we're pulled over, and there they all go driving past. We wait till the last person. We end up getting behind the Urus SE, which is being driven by the delivery guy who's part of MAG Auto Group or whatever it is. I don't know the abbreviation off the top of my head. So we're going through all these back roads and stuff. They have a little back road route before we hit the highway and actually drive to where the pizza place is, the Ohio Pie Co. Love that place. Shout out to them. But we're following behind this Urus SE, and then just this line of Lamborghinis, a couple of Aventadors, Huracans, a lot of Gallardos. There's an outrageous amount of Gallardos up where we live, apparently. But we're following them all. And this dude of the Urus is, the thing sounds ridiculous. We're tailing him in the Nissan Rogue, which is not very fun. I'm filming everything on my little gimbal, and it's shaking around a lot. I'm going insane. I'm almost getting motion sick because it's through all these curvy roads. and I'm staring at a camera and not actually looking at what's going on. I would not advise that if you get motion sick easily. Luckily, I don't, and I was able to still film stuff. But it was fun chasing a line of 12 Lamborghinis in a Nissan Rogue. So we get to the pizza place. People are allowed to then test drive the brand new Urus SE. So people are going to do that. We go get some pizza, kind of walk around, look at the cars a bit, and I decide that I'm going to go talk to the guy who's hosting this event, who I talked to, who basically said, "We already have a camera guy." And I go talk to him. His Instagram is Do Work Exotics if you want to go check that out. Great guy. So I go talk to him. So I end up introducing myself to him. I'm like, "Hey, I'm Luke. I'm Shadows Cars on Instagram, all this, blah, 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 blah." And he's like, "Oh, cool, man. Yeah, I'm glad you could make it out to this." So I guess I could have just showed up anyway, but I talked to him for a little bit. He's like, "Yeah, if you ever want to come out to the events, that's perfectly cool." And he's been sending me all the information, all the events and stuff, just because I'm super cool with all the guys now. It's great, but we end up being on really good terms with everything. He's like, "Yeah, I would have invited you, but we already had the camera guy and stuff. I didn't want to. I already promised him that he would be the one guy here, so I'm glad you could still come out though." So I filmed some stuff when I was there at the second spot after I introduced myself, had all my rig and stuff, filmed a little short edit and stuff, and then just was on good terms with him. So now that I was on good terms with him, I got invited to every single event. Well, we go through all of the events throughout the year. I think we end up doing like 5 or so, and then the final comes along. The final event is actually pretty cool because it was not just Lamborghinis. A few other people came who were also like close to the guy and knew him personally. And it became more of a just calm meet instead of one of these big cars and coffees and stuff. But we're all there, and everybody's like there for the Lamborghini Club of Ohio thing. And we all line up to take a picture for the Lamborghini Club of Ohio site and stuff. It's like, hey, this was everybody out in Northeast Ohio who was part of the club. Let's get a picture of everybody together for just the end of the year. And I'm standing off to the side with a guy who brought his GT4 RS and someone who brought his RS3, that red RS3 that's been in some of the videos. And we're looking at each other. We're like, do we go into this photo or not? And they're like, "I'm going in." And I'm like, "Okay, sure, I'll follow." So we all go in and we line up part of this photo. And you can see we're all in there. We're all towards the end. I'm at the very end back there. And it's just, we're now part of the Lamborghini Club of Ohio, and none of us own a Lamborghini. So yeah, that's the story of how I ended up sneaking into a Lamborghini event to then become part of a Lamborghini Club of Ohio without even owning a Lamborghini.